So that is a bit of a sore spot for me, to be honest,
Oh,
because I always feel like I'm letting people down just because of how I show up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know you finna sing, you finna," and it's like, I wish you wouldn't, put that on me.
yes.
I wish you'd give me an opportunity to give you what I have, which is great. But if it's not what you expect, then you may tune me out. And I feel like I've seen that like in action. Like
Yeah.
while I'm on stage, people are expecting a certain thing and they get something else, and maybe it's not what they want. And so, like I said, I'm a thinker. I realize I've made peace with that. I had to make peace with it a long time ago to survive and to keep going out there. But I am confident in what I have. I know what I have to offer. I know what my message is, and I'm firm in it. But yeah, it has been a challenge to try to make the appearance sync up the material.
Yes.
I also think, I said, it's my job to get people's imaginations going. I think it's also my job to change people's perceptions about what a rapper is or what a rap artist is and about what rap is, because I feel like there are so many people that don't consider it art. There's still people that think, well, if it's not mean and hard and misogynistic, then it ain't rap. You're
Yep.
soft. You're not this. It can be whatever I want it to be. And so after, I list my title, Anastasia Hera, rap artist, songwriter, is the next thing, because I'm not just writing verses. I'm telling stories. I'm using themes and
Yeah.
repetition and callbacks, and I put a lot of thought into what I do. So yes, the material, the art that I'm creating definitely matches the exterior, but it requires a little bit of thought and engagement on the part of the listener.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready?
Nope.
For a long journey while our podcast released a new app and searching for a fade phenom, new fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones, they gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text with friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talking with Donato.
Welcome in, everyone. Episode 145. Queen Hera, our guest, Anastasia Hera.
Hey.
Anastasia, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah.
Just living life and everything that comes with that, the ups, downs, the highs, the lows, feeling it all,
Definitely know that. I'm a little curious here. We're doing okay here. The sun was out today.
Yes.
I just want to know, have you ever lived anywhere else, like a cold climate? Have you always been locally based? For those who don't know, I'm in Austin, Texas now.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So
I'm right up the street. I'm in Pflugerville. I'm a Texas girl. And no, I spent maybe 3 short months in Louisiana, in Leesville, Louisiana. Yeah. But I've never been in a cold climate. I don't know that I could make, you know what? Let me take that back. Let me walk that back. Because I feel as I mature, as I grow older, I feel like it takes a little more life experience, right? You learn how to handle things like the cold. Whereas when I was younger, it was like, oh no, I can't deal with it. It's not for me. But I feel like I'm finding a way for the cooler weather to work for me. And so it's one of those things that I feel like I could evolve into, especially as the climate is changing. But the heat here and the sun here is a little more intense, it seems like, in these last couple of years.
I was curious because I've lived in colder climates. Like I've lived in Boston. I ride a motorcycle. I'm a biker boy. Been that for a very long time here, since before you were born, Anastasia. But I remember one of the best things I'm proud of is during those cold months, the winter, there'd be snow off to the side of the road, and I'm still riding you around. They clean their roads. They're immaculate. You could eat off those things. I mean, I wouldn't try it, but they get that snow off. And so I always thought with social media as it is, if they see me complaining online about the weather, I think they're gonna pull my card. So that's why I feel socially pressured not to complain. So I was just kind of curious on what your view is. Like, should we be complaining because it was a little brisk today, but the sun was out?
It definitely was. I believe it was in the upper 40s when I went out with the dog the first time. And I was a little, because I feel like a few weeks ago, we felt like we were home free. We were like, oh yeah, it's spring. This is it. It's warm. It's not going to get cool anymore. But I don't know, like that, all of that has been challenged within the last couple of days. And it's interesting. I've been writing about sort of this transition between winter and spring. and how it overlaps with spring break and South by Southwest and the fair and the
Yes.
rodeo. And
Yes.
it could go either way, right? It could be
Yeah.
warm, it could be cool. You just never really know. So it's that time of year.
Wait a minute. You went walking the dog. Way to make us all feel bad because you're getting your steps in. But I'm curious because I guess if I would have had to guess, I would have thought you were a cat person. But again, with this name, Queen Hera, I'm thinking Egyptian vibes. I'm thinking, they worship cats and stuff. But you're a dog person. So what kind of dog do you have?
I actually have two. So 10 years ago now, we adopted Honey Bun. She's a mini pincher, very feisty, very,
That's my next dog. That's the next one I'm getting.
I highly recommend. She's
like a cat. It's like a cat.
There you go. And then a year and a half ago, we adopted Wednesday. She's a blue heeler. And these are both dogs that I've kind of had to bring out of their shells. Out of their shell. They come from these traumatic backgrounds and they're scared and timid. And it's just so cool to see them blossom into, these vocal, assertive creatures. It's really crazy.
No, Anastasia, no.
No.
I hope that most people are watching us on YouTube, or they did the video option on some of the other sites, because they need to see my reaction. Y'all saw I was respectful while she was giving us that, but I'm a dog lover. Let me break y'all off here. A min pin is a bundle of energy. That's like lightning in a small package. And then she went and got a blue heeler, a hunting dog. Them things they heard. They nothing but energy. Anastasia, no wonder you got to get your steps in, because that blue heeler will probably turn the house inside out. What, did you know all that before you got them dogs?
To be honest, I did not.
Oh,
I had no earthly idea what I was getting into. And I believe I set out both times to find really chill personalities.
Yeah.
I went out to find spirits that are like mine. And I did, because even though, yes, the mini pincher, she is a ball of energy and she does a lot. And Wednesday, she is a hunting dog and she needs that stimulation and activity. There's a balance, I guess, just like with any of us, they have their moments too, where, they're quiet, set to the side, reserved, thinking about whatever dogs think about. And so I feel like, I don't know, I lucked out in that way.
Anastasia, I also want to go over this other thing. It's complimentary. But I'm going to say it's complimentary because of the intent. Right. So I have heard of you for a very long time, and it was mostly audio. It was on the radio show, for those who don't know. Honestly, I didn't stalk you on social media or anything. I did finally come across you, and my first picture of you was of this Untapped. But from everything I've got, first of all, I'm a fan. Now that I see you, you're a beautiful person. I just want to say that.
Thank you.
It's complimentary.
Yes.
So that was all complimentary. Now I got to get to the hate.
Okay.
Anastasia, what the heck is going on here? You got the pretty name. You got the pretty personality. You got the pretty face. You're like the total package of like beauty. First of all, are you a model? No. Second of all, nobody likes you, right? Like, come on. We got to get to the bad stuff. I want to know. This is about to be an ugly podcast. What is going on?
So you want to know the truth?
Yes.
I know how to. I play the game. So no, I'm not a model, and I've never wanted to be, because it's one of those things that when you buy into the idea of your own looks, which can change at any moment. Everything can go downhill.
Yes.
When you tie your identity and your beauty and your inner beauty and your mood to those external things, it's fragile. It's fragile. And we're all getting older. Father time is going to come for all of us. And I never wanted my happiness to be linked to something that was so temporary. That's all it is.
Okay. I'm ahead of the game. I normally get to this to a little bit later, but I got to get to it now. Okay. Because this is what it's the launch pad for all of us. We're going to get to high school. It's the launch pad.
All right.
Some people have peaked there. But it's going to give us a little frame.
Okay.
It's senior year.
Yes.
Maybe you brown bagged it, but bear with me. You just got your tray from the lunch gentleman. You about to go sit down. What table did you sit at senior year of high school?
You said nobody liked me, right?
Right.
That's not a recent phenomenon. That's not a recent thing. No. I'm kidding. You know, I found my people in high school. And so we were not in the cafeteria. We were in the audio visual room with the cameras.
No, wait a minute. You were blurred?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, there it is. See, we all were rooting for that. We were hoping you weren't this little pretty jewel your entire life. All right. Woo. We needed some stank on it. We needed to bring her down a little bit. You no longer a 10, Anastasia. You like a 9 right now. We like
That's all right.
I'll
take it. But I mean, we were exploring, and then when we weren't training on the equipment and playing on the news set, we found a classroom and we rapped. You know, everybody brought their raps to school, and we had our little ciphers. So I was busy.
Dad, burn it! Look, y'all see that? She just did that. She just brought it back up. she used to roll up in the ciphers.
Yeah.
Drop lyrics. Sounds like y'all was messing with some beats too. You got some producing skills.
Well, at that time, no. We didn't have the DAWs readily available. We didn't have laptops. We barely had PCs in the classrooms at that time. So it would be somebody banging on the desk.
That's the bass line. That's a set. I might have been in a cipher too. Look at a cipher too. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it, Anastasia. Hold on. Let's do something. Give me a beat. Let me drop something for you right quick. You got me?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah, I rolled up to the podcast ready. I saw this girl and I want to see steady back and forth. We could do the rhyme. We could be talking. We could rock the time. I want about 60 minutes, maybe 90. If I could do this, you could find me. I'm with the girl. That's a 10. I do it back then, and people used to know me. They just asked me when. That's what I thought I'd do those. Yeah, I think it was good. We'll find out when we go back after some editing and look at this thing, and I'll be like, "Dang, bro, you failed her."
Okay.
You know what though, Anastasia? When people ask me if they were like, "Man, that wasn't good," I'm gonna blame my beat maker. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, but son, did you see? She was all off, and it was messing me up." I'm gonna do that.
My bad.
Thank you. It's too late though. You already messed it up then. But yeah, I'll take your apology. See, I'm already building it in. Okay, Anastasia, I gotta know them. I know about the movie. I know the country where this name got famous. It was Russia, and they were the czar. They weren't always the Soviet Union. Yeah. They used to have a king and a queen, a monarchy. For those who don't know, they were called a czar, the person in charge. And the most famous was the young Anastasia, what the movie was made for. They got ran out of power. For those who don't know, it was a revolt. And people were like, yo, y'all have a lot. We got none. Yep. And y'all are doing a horrible job of reaching out and understanding us. So we don't support these people taking over. How'd I do there, Anastasia? It sounds like you knew about all that.
Yes. And I think you got it right in a nutshell. Right? Here we are in 2024 still talking about abolish the monarchy. So.
Yes. So now that I impress you that I know a version of the story of your name, what most people kind of know why it's so famous, where did that name come from? What was the story behind that?
To make a long story short, my parents didn't know what to name me. And they had already taken me home. And the hospital said, hey, if y'all don't name this baby, we will. What? That prompted my father to open up a name book. And he said the first name that he got to that was unique, that had some kind of spiritual significance. Anastasia means resurrection, one who shall rise again, springtime. Okay. And it also kind of had some family ties. I've got some Annas in the family line. Okay. That's what he went with. So out of necessity, I ended up with Anastasia.
Well, it's a good story. Mm-hmm. I would have made up something better.
Really?
Let me see. Let me offer you something to go with.
Okay.
Because I have the audacity.
Got you.
So your father was backpacking across Europe. When he came across a fair maiden who was distraught.
Okay.
She had just been kicked out of her castle.
Oh, no.
That lady would be known as your mother.
Okay.
That lady then had the opportunity to wed your father, and they had a daughter. That daughter was named after the queen of that old castle. The queen did not want the beautiful princess to be kicked out. It was the evil king that kicked her out. And good thing your backpacking father was there to save the day. And that is where the name Anastasia came from.
I like it. I love it, actually.
It's trying, you're an artist. I fashion myself a little bit of an artistic gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all have an artist within us.
If we ain't afraid, if we ain't stuck like Chuck to get it out.
That's true. And it's the word that you use. It's audacity. You have to have the audacity to, that thing that you make up in your mind to say it out loud. Like that takes some courage. Not everybody can do it.
Yes, it does. I wrote that down. I wanted to come back to that. Okay, so it's a lovely name. I like it. Is it rude though? I bet some people, do they see it and then the first thing they'd be like, but what you go by? Do they try to shorten it or anything? I feel like that happens a lot. So I was wondering if it happens to you.
Well, it happens when you're younger, when you're smaller, and when you don't carry yourself like an Anastasia, right? So that's sort of a long, flowery name for an infant, And so I grew up as Stacy, which is perfect. That's fine. That fits me. It's straight to the point. Some people still call me Stacy, but it wasn't until I was grown, like a big age, before I was really able to go by Anastasia and introduce myself and feel like Anastasia. It took a while to get there.
Okay. Well, I like it. What's some of the baddest things you've heard people pronounce it? It gets jacked up sometimes, doesn't it?
People get lazy. And they say Tanisha.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh my God.
You didn't even, oh yeah, I've gotten that one in the doctor's office. Like, you didn't even try, sis. But I understand. It's one of those things that, just like when you name a child, you hope that people will respect that child's name and address them properly and learn it. But if they don't, then you coach that child to correct them. Oh, it's Anastasia. And I've learned to do that too. So it's just all part of growing into that name.
Я говорю по-русски, и я знаю людей, они знают Anastasia.
You speak Russian?
Da, that's what I said. I said I speak Russian, and I know people, and they call themselves Anastasia. So if someone just pronounces it different, is that okay? You accept that too?
Oh, sure.
If it's like common to them and wherever they're from?
Absolutely. Listen, I fully understand and realize that I got the boring North American pronunciation. I stick to that because that's what I was given. If you ask my dad, he's gonna say it's Anastasia. But I embrace the fact that it could be Anastasia. When I go to Europe or when I step into Mexico or something like that, I love the versatility of it. Mm-hmm. I don't mind at all.
In any language, it's beautiful and everyone can't wait to get to it.
Hey, I love it.
The Europeans want to get their hands in it. All right, so we got the high school thing. Yeah. But we're not out. We're not done with that yet.
Okay.
Were you voted anything? Most likely to. Now, again, audio video queen, but what were you voted or even close? Like, were you runner up for?
Let me tell you something. Now you said it, and we're gonna circle back to this point as many times as we need to. I was not nobody liked me, right?
Okay.
So I wasn't. I'm a nice person. Yeah. I'm intelligent. I'm friendly. All these things, but I'll never win a popularity contest. I don't know why. I've stopped wondering why. But
I can tell you why.
I wanted to put together our class that would stick together over the years, have reunions and do activities and those things. And we didn't have one by the time I was a senior. So I was like, hey, I'll do it. I'll volunteer. So, I set up meetings and we skipped lunches to do that. And we organized and outlined and we planned and we planned and we set up an election, class president, class vice president, all these things. And I campaigned and I talked to people and I let them know what I had done to set up this great thing. And I lost to the popular girl with the pink Jeep.
You gotta be kidding me.
I kid you not. But,
Barbie Jeep driving.
She was nice and she was pretty. And like I said,
I don't like her.
Popular.
I don't care. I hope she sees this too. I don't like you, girl.
She'll be all right. I ain't mad at her. It's not her fault. She didn't even want it. She didn't even want.
Oh, that's even worse.
It. But look, those lessons, those early lessons, those are the ones that make you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yeah, you are correct there. And
yeah.
Barbie Jeep lady, I'm joking. I hope you have a good sense of humor.
I'm sure she's living her best life.
Yeah, fine individual, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious here. Why were you not popular? And this is an indictment not only on high schoolers, but also on parents, on mentors. Because we're going to come to this a little later. I know you do a little mentoring.
Yeah.
I think it is. I'm a youth sports coach, as you know. I think it is our job as the old heads, as the OG, triple fat OGs, to talk to the youth about self-esteem, self-awareness, loving who you are, embracing the differences that make us all. Because what I would say is, I never had a bully, but what I would say is I've met a lot of people that have given the chance, and this isn't one of those coming of age movies where, oh, you're a nerd, but now I get to know you. You're such a cool person, that you may be missing out on the friend of your life, maybe even the love of your life, because we go off of optics or what, stereotypical things.
Yeah.
Do you think you were not popular because maybe you seem like this version? It seems very self-aware, good self-esteem, confident. I don't know if you grew into it and you had all this beauty at that time, but we know you're artistic. It sounds like all of that is a little intimidating to some people who are getting by off of whatever makes them popular. Do you think some of that is the reason?
It could be.
Yeah.
I think I'm also in some ways a thinker. You know how some things are handed to you and they're sparkly and they're shiny and they're like, oh yes, I get it. But I think that I come across as just a bit more of a thinker. I think that I did not know. I've been the same person all my life, right? Oh. But I did not know how to. It took me a while to grow into loving myself and believe the things that I say now. I can say them with conviction because I believe them. Back then, I was still kind of stepping into that and I didn't fully believe it. And if someone didn't like me, I still kind of felt like it was my fault or I was wrong somehow. So it did take a while. But at the same time, there's always been this streak within me that wasn't going to give people the easy thing that they wanted. Yes. So I was, the girls are wearing the cute little things and I'm walking around in baggy pants. Or if the boys don't think I'm cute, they don't have to think I'm, And so I just a bit of a thinker, it took people who were willing to give a second look and just look a little bit deeper to be like, oh yeah, she's cool. Once you get past her being kind of not like everybody else.
Yes.
So, that's kind of where it started for me. Just being able to go against that grain and still fully believe in myself.
I like that. I hope our young listeners get that. And the other thing I like to talk about, the reason I like to talk about this stuff, Anastasia, because the old heads that are watching this, I want them to be like, you know what? I never really thought about that. That I probably should be having some conversations with my young cats about understanding, it's all right, be who you are.
Yes.
They'll catch up or they just may not get it, which means they not for you.
Right.
Find your circle. You said find your people. You found your people. I don't normally like to add of myself because it's about you, but during lunch, I was a skateboarder. And back in my day, there were no black skateboarders, but we were outside skateboarding during lunch because it was the time to work on our tricks. And some of us didn't live in the same neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So, and the bus didn't run between some of our neighborhoods. I was out in the suburbs. And so if you ain't got a car, we don't get to skating together, but we got this free time. Ain't nobody trying to eat.
Right.
Let's go outside and have a session right now. So we did that. And, I was in study hall and I met some guys who were playing, because I definitely won't study in the study hall.
Yeah.
My grades tell you that. But they were over there rolling these dice and doing these things. There was a game called Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow.
And I rolled up in there, learned a lot. It was fun. I'm glad I didn't judge them. I had a blast. And it's not satanic, even if those who are watching this to this day still think, is that satanic or something? No, it ain't satanic.
No.
Far from it. But it was a great game.
Yeah.
So I hope we could help some people with this dialogue too.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think the key is, especially with the Dungeons and Dragons thing, being able to use your imagination.
Thank you.
That's it. You know, and if I can encourage the young folks to just use their imaginations, everything is so explicit and so vulgar and straightforward and in your face. But what if I buried my message like within the layer of a story?
Yes.
Where's the high fantasy for people like us? Why has everything got to be so,
yes,
street level? You know what I mean? So I feel like that's part of my responsibility as an artist too, just to use your imagination.
Anastasia, man, I got so much. I can't believe we're already 24 minutes in. This is great. This is fun. Let's go back to something. You are an artist, but for those who may not know, what are some of the things you dabble in? What is this artistry that you speak of?
Okay, so first and foremost, I'm a rap artist, right? Words are my thing. Lyrics, metaphors, similes, rhyme patterns, and schemes, and that's the one. Maybe not the one thing, but that's what I feel I'm best at. I don't think anybody can put together a rhyme like I can, and so that tells me when I wake up in the morning, if I still feel that way, that tells me I'm a rap artist, and I'm not just a rapper. Because anybody can rap, right? They got AI that can rhyme words together. Anyone can do that. They got a rhyming dictionary, But to really weave a message in, to some lyrics and then make them sound good and make them feel good and then use your voice as the percussion. I mean, there's layers to it. So that's my primary art, rap, words. And then, I'm a musician. I produce and what else do I do? I spin a baton sometimes, and I love is an art form to me. I cook, anything that allows me to be creative.
Well, when's the next time you throwing something together and y'all inviting some people over? What? Okay, what do you like to cook? What are some of your favorite recipes there? We're gonna come back to some other stuff. I got to get to the food.
Ooh, now see, that's hard. Now.
Oh, well then let me ask you this. Let me frame this to you, because this is a question I do ask.
Okay.
I don't mean to get into it. Mm-hmm. Let's say you are not in a great relationship right now. So pardon whoever is listening that is your love interest, if there is one. But just bear with me. Just bear with me. You're shallow, okay? Just bear with me.
Okay, cool.
You have the most beautiful person in the world, and they are coming over to dinner with you, and you decided to cook something for them. What are you cooking?
How do I impress somebody? That is really a good question. I don't know.
Yes, that's what I was hoping. That was my goal with that question.
Okay. Why is that the right answer?
Well, I want you to actually care. You could flippantly throw something out, but you seem like you care to that. What could I do for that person? And I like that. That's what I like.
Yeah.
I like that you actually are considering it. It's an absurd question. With so many different types of beauty, how could you say what is the most beautiful person in the world?
Yes.
But like when I became a single gentleman, I started dabbling in Italian recipes because I thought that would be the way to impress young ladies that I was pursuing. So I'll put up my Italian recipes against anybody.
Really?
Anastasia, let me tell you something.
Okay.
I will make you a 7-layer lasagna that ain't falling over. This ain't gonna be no soup. This thing is gonna stand.
Wow. Wow.
I make my chicken Alfredo. I make that Alfredo sauce from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
I make my own cannolis. I don't mess around Italian. The Italiano is real over here because that's what I just practiced it. I did so much because I was like, I'm from the Boomerang era. I was brought up on that movie, How to Be a Player with Bill Bellamy. So I thought I needed to be a suave gentleman. I had to have my warehouse crib and then be able to drop something like that on them with some candlelight. Yeah.
I understand that. So you'll agree that the media that we consume influences us.
Oh, yeah. Anastasia, let me tell you something. I was just telling someone this. When the video Shoot comes on by Salt and Pepper,
no.
If that comes on and I'm in the gym, your boy gonna pop a blood vessel because I am the BET MTV era, the 106 in Park era. And in that video, it was always the dudes with the 6-pack abs and even their gotta thank your mama for a butt like that. So I did squats. I didn't skip leg day because again, these girls was telling me this is what they wanted.
Right.
So I worked hard. I worked hard in the gym to get that. I'm not ashamed of it because I was working hard to a goal. And I ended up doing some bodybuilding shows. So no one's going to say, oh, I didn't gain from that. But that's what I read from it and pulled. And then again, like I said, I saw these movies. I saw Boomerang and I was like, yo, I need to get me some cooking skills to impress that young lady when I get her back to the spot.
Wow. I love, you know what my song was that had me taking notes?
What's that?
This is another old one too. Around the Way Girl by LL Cool J.
Yeah.
And for a few different reasons, but because he described this woman that was confident in who she was, right?
Yes.
She could be professional, but she was herself too. She was street. You know, she knew where she was from. She knew what she had. She knew her worth. So that's the song that had me taking notes.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to be.
Yeah, I love that one. And
you know, I don't know. Do we still get those songs? Like what are our girls listening to?
We don't get it. We don't get it. And I wish somebody would come back with some bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah. That was a formative song for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you one other one. Since you mentioned him.
Okay.
A Lover.
That was a good one.
Your man must think it's safe for you to travel that way. So what did I do? My first car that I ever bought, my first gentlemanly purchase was a Mustang. Although he was riding in, I think that was a Maserati he had.
Yeah.
And Anastasia, do you know how many times I rolled up to a girl at a bus stop and rolled down the window with my illegal tent and was like, hey, your man was thinking, I didn't say your man was thinking it's safe for you to travel that way. But,
you tried it. You tried it.
Where you going? I don't mind. Did that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Thank you, LL. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It be hot out. I'm a Southern boy, East Coast though, but that when that air condition hit, and during that time, this is why my grades in college were not the best.
Okay.
Play by R. Kelly just came out.
Oh no, yeah, you were distracted. We were all distracted. So everybody was distracted.
I'm gonna just say when she got in and I pressed play, skip to the next CD. Mm-hmm. I know. You know how like when you want to ride, you get in a taxi or Uber, you're like, yo, take me straight here.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, almost 9 out of 10 was like, hey, so go this way. They took the long way. They never taken the short way. I'm from this town too, girl.
I feel you.
I know the shortcuts. But hey, thank you, LL. I just wanted him to know. Okay, Anastasia, we got to get to something else then.
Okay.
I see in your background you got a guitar over there, an acoustic guitar.
Yes.
You got skills with that too? Acoustic?
I pick at it.
It counts.
It does count. It does count, and it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's different, you know. So now I'm quiet. I'm focused on something else. It's a different kind of muscle memory I'm trying to develop. And then, you know, I perform with a live band these days. And so being around them and watching how they create and what they're able to make their instruments do, I'm inspired. And I think that that's why, I feel like I've been very fortunate along this journey, because every artist that I meet, I try to learn something from them.
Yeah.
It's just my mind is going a mile a minute. But yeah, that I've had that one for a couple years, and do a little Bob Marley here and there. And
Love it.
I would love to eventually get good enough at it to do it in public. But for now, it's just for me.
Would you believe that I won a talent show in college while my buddy played acoustic guitar and I flowed, I rapped, and
Wow.
we won.
Really?
He was over at my house once and we were just doing whatever, looking at TV or something. And he brought his guitar and there was a song by Eve, and the song came on and he did it on the acoustic guitar. He was like, do, 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 do. And I was like, yo, that's hot. Yo, do that again.
Wow.
And I wrote something off of that right then and there. And then I had to convince him to do the talent show. He was a very introverted, shy dude. Except for when he was on stage that day, he was in character. He was feeling it. But okay, I was just kind of curious if that would impress you, since you're a big time artist.
Any type of live music is impressive to me. It's like worship, It's like the heavens open up and somehow you're talking to something bigger than yourself. So yes, it's always going to impress me. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to get another question here. Would you say that you being a rap artist, that's not the first place that people go when they look at you, when they think, if they don't know much about you, do they think you're a crooner? Do they think you're a flower doing some flowetry? Do people give you that kind of respect? Because like we were talking about before, maybe you don't have a certain look. I'm going off what I see now. Remember, I haven't seen a lot of pictures of you. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's some other things that you do, but do people get that? Do you give off that vibe? Do they get that vibe from you?
So that is a bit of a sore spot for me, to be honest. Oh. Because I always feel like I'm letting people down. Just because of how I show up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know you finna sing, and it's like, I wish you wouldn't, put that on me. Yes. I wish you'd give me an opportunity to give you what I have, which is great. But if it's not what you expect, then you may tune me out. And I feel like I've seen that, like, in action. Like, while I'm on stage, people are expecting a certain thing and they get something else, and maybe it's not what they want. And so, like I said, I'm a thinker. I realize I've made peace with that. I had to make peace with it a long time ago to survive and to keep going out there. But I am confident in what I have. I know what I have to offer. I know what my message is, and I'm firm in it. But yeah, it has been a challenge to try to make the appearance sync up with the material.
Yes.
I also think that, like I said, it's my job to get people's imaginations going. I think it's also my job to change people's perceptions about what a rapper is or what a rap artist is and about what rap is, because I feel like there are so many people that don't consider it art. There's still people that think, well, if it's not mean and hard and misogynistic, then it ain't rap. You're soft. You're not this. It can be whatever I want it to be. And so after, I list my title, Anastasia Hera, rap artist, songwriter is the next thing. Because I'm not just writing verses. I'm telling stories. I'm using themes and repetition and callbacks, and I put a lot of thought into what I do. So yes, the material, the art that I'm creating definitely matches the exterior, but it requires a little bit of thought and engagement on the part of the listener.
Anastasia, I'm going to go at another sore spot because it's what we do. And I just kind of want to know what the read is that what's the first thing people compare you to or say you sound like? And I know they do it, whether it's complimentary or not. What do you get? Uh-oh. She broke eye contact.
I don't get much anymore.
Oh, okay.
When I first started, I got the Lauren, I got the Jean Grey,
yep.
I got the Rhapsody.
Yep.
And I'm honored to be mentioned in the same sentence as those people. I've gotten, it's when I got into singing a little more, I've gotten the Marsha Ambrosius, I've gotten, a lot of the neo soul artists. And all that's fine. I think that we all are being associated and affiliated for good, positive reasons. So,
yes.
I do not have a problem with that. But yeah, that's what but I feel like as I've grown more into myself and as I've put my voice out there more so that people can stop assuming and start actually listening.
Yes.
I really don't get that much anymore.
Anastasia, if I talked to your peers, I don't know what your circle looks like. I know I made the joke. I hope a lot of people don't like you. That was the joke. Honestly, you got the 2 dogs, you got your music. Something tells me you could be okay, but maybe you do have a real circle with some good friends. What would your peer say to describe you if they were like, yo, I'm going to go see my friend. She's performing. Who? Anastasia. I don't know. What's she like? Why should I go? What would they say to describe you?
Musically?
Just as a person, no. Your personality. What I'm sure people have vocalized it once or twice. What do they say? The people who know you best in your circle, the real people that know you.
I really don't know. I really don't know.
Really? What?
Yeah. First of all, I got the big only child energy, right? So okay. I don't have a tight knit group of girls or anybody.
Yes.
It's just kind of me and my little bubble, and that's fine. Like you said, I've got the things that make me happy, and that is enough. Yes. You know what I mean? But the people that know me know that I'm kind and loyal. I don't know how they would describe me if they had to sell me to somebody else.
Yes.
And you know what? That's a good. Maybe I should put together a little focus group. I'm working on a project coming out later this fall, and I'm gonna focus test some music. Yeah. Maybe focus test some looks, but maybe that is another thing for me to focus test. How would you describe Anastasia? Does this work that you're hearing and seeing and previewing? Does it match with the Anastasia that you know? Personally?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a good place to start.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, happy to offer something to you. Feeling good. You are making me feel better about myself. I done freestyled for you. I'm offering items to help you as you travel down your path. I knew this was gonna be a banger, and I am enjoying this, Anastasia Hera. All right, I'm just kind of curious. Look, this has been fun. You seem like a great person, but can we get the real one? Like, what's your real name? Anastasia Hera. That sound all made up.
That's it.
Something tells me your real, and you from Austin, and you got all these skills. Something tells me your real name is Tamika Bland, and you from Cleveland. I think you moved to Austin. You created all this stuff. Listen, at this point, we're 41 minutes in. They've already made it to work.
Yeah.
And now they had to click off, go into work, and then they're going to turn it back on. They forgot where they were. They're probably going to miss the majority of this part anyway. So go ahead and come real with it. What's the truth?
Let me tell you though, had I come here from another city and assumed this personality and this persona, I'd be farther along in this city than I am right now. When you try to perform and be an artist in the city where you grew up, people take you for granted.
Yeah, I could see that. Wow.
Because it's just like, oh, that's just her. We know her. She's been doing that since she was 12. We can go see her anytime. It ain't that big of a deal. It's a very strange phenomenon that I've seen it up front, close and personal. But no, it's definitely Anastasia Hera. That's what it is. Maybe I need to go move to a different city take my product somewhere else and see how it does.
I'm telling you, it would look good as a headliner with what we are as a city. I mean, we are now the 10th largest in America. Mm-hmm. I know we weren't that while you were coming up. Mm-mm. So I used to live in Los Angeles. And okay. I'm going to tell you, if there was, before we even see it, just hold the acoustic guitar and put a picture of you up there. And if they just say Anastasia Hera from Austin, Texas, yo, somebody coming out. Like, we curious out there.
That's powerful. That is absolutely powerful. You're right.
The look, the energy, just our imagination of what you're bringing to LA, I would guarantee you.
Yeah.
The cat's rolling up in there and they may not even know. They ain't even gonna take the time to Google you and figure out anything. Like, yo, let's check the picture. Yeah, let's go check this out. I guarantee it. But no, we don't want to lose you. See, I done talk, man. Everybody getting mad at me now. I'm telling you to go move away into that city of all cities, because I know some locals here. They're a little mad that a lot of people came up out of Cali, Los Angeles, and came here.
Yeah.
But okay, you know what, Anastasia, what's your take on that? You seem like something. I don't want to say it before I get the answer. What's your take on everybody moving to your city?
So I've seen Austin change a lot. Yes. I remember when it still felt like a small city. I remember when I felt like, especially all the Black folks kind of knew each other. If you didn't know, there was some connection there. Yes. And the way that everything is, the population has exploded and the infrastructure and everything has exploded. It's a little intimidating because now who is who? Like, I'm drowning. Who, it's been a strange transition, but that's the way things go. Yeah, that's the natural progression when you build your city as a certain thing and you attract certain things. You can't be upset when they come and when it happens and when it grows and when it explodes. And I'm sure it's been great for some people and some demographics and some bank accounts. I'm sure that it has. But me on a personal level, I remember feeling like this was a special, magical place. I remember when we were under 400,000 population. I remember.
What?
Yes. So it's natural and normal, but it was something special.
I looked at the analytics. I used to make the joke because I was getting a lot of downloads over in Mexico. So, mi mexicano hermanos, appreciate you guys. But something's taken off in Israel nowadays. But for those listeners who are not here local, can I get to at least one or two little stereotypes and then you help us with it, please?
Okay.
Do you own a pair of cowboy boots?
I do not own a pair of cowboy boots.
Okay.
Should I?
Well,
as a Texan,
I say no. Okay. I do. Before I even moved here, I had them. Okay. But I used to live in Houston, and it was just a different look. Because when I left Houston, I went straight to Los Angeles. Okay. And it was just a different look. The big buckle, the boots. It made me stand out, and it was a different vibe on its own anyway. Right. So it made me different, and I just embraced it. Yep. I call myself the bow tie cowboy is what I've always called myself. Now I wish I would have had an appropriate piece of neckwear for this, which I normally do. I'm supposedly dressing down today. Oh. Okay, so then if you're not, I'm going to go to the second one. Okay. Have you been to, because I'm not just going to say one, have you been to at least two rodeos in your lifetime?
Okay, what do you consider going to the rodeo? Like sitting in a seat and watching the events?
Yes, ma'am.
No. I've seen where a rodeo happens and I've been around the animals, but I've never intentionally gone to watch the rodeo.
Okay. See, I'm glad I was able to clear that up for some. And I know they were thinking it. I think they think we all rode in on a horse today.
Yeah. Well, they can think whatever they want to think. It's all right.
Okay. Well, I mean, you certainly helped them out. All right. I want to go down a different path here. if you had the option to get $500 million or to help 20 families, what you gonna take?
I'm taking the money.
Okay, why?
Well, because no one said I had to keep all the money for myself, and I could grow. What could you do with a $500 million seed?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
so,
I'm in agreement.
That's a no-brainer right there for me.
I'm glad you said that. So you didn't feel bad overlooking the 20 families, like, because I thought this question up on my own because I wanted, like that, like some of my previous questions. I just want to know: do people want to be real, or do they want to give the book answer? And you certainly did not give the book answer.
I want to be honest. I mean, I can still help the families.
Yes.
Just give me the names and addresses. Let me know who to reach out to.
What are you at?
Yeah, but let's work smarter too.
Yes. Yeah. No, nothing wrong with that. I really like it. But either way, I've only used that question twice. I intend to use it a little bit more, but I also would understand if someone said it.
Right.
It's about legacy. And I also believe when you die, you can't take the money with you.
True.
And a lot of people, rich people, die and have no legacy as of what they should be remembered for.
Yeah.
Those 20 families could be a tree, and then they could blossom, and who knows what could come of the descendants of those 20 families. So
absolutely,
I offer that. Yeah. All right. If you had an opportunity to have dinner with 5 people, dead or alive, who are you using to come to that dinner? 5 people, dead or alive.
Okay. Now this is all okay. So this is one of those questions that the answer changes depending on where I am in life, what I'm studying right now, what's fresh on my mind.
Yes.
But today, and only today, I want to sit down and talk to Frederick Douglass. I don't know why, but I want to dig into that. I've kind of been studying how to write a memoir. Yeah. Kind of picking up excerpts from his memoir. And there's just some kind of I would love to just ask questions and listen. I would love to just listen.
Yes.
Who else do I want to talk? You know what?
That's one. We got 4 more.
I want to sit down and talk to Beyonce.
Okay.
I really, really do. And I'm not a member of the Beehive or anything, but when I see her in all her eras over the years, I see myself. So in her Destiny's Child days, I feel like that's my younger, you know what I mean? Like the fashion, the accessories, the material, like all of it just kind of syncs up with my life. And but there's still a lot of mystery there. Yeah. There's always going to be this separation, this aloofness, this, and so I would really love to know what goes on behind all of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the way that, the way she's matured as a woman, the way I've matured as a woman, are there any parallels? And what's going through her mind with this Cowboy Carter phase? I really want to know. I'm just curious. Let's see.
Number 3.
Person. And so, okay, where are we eating this dinner at? What's happening?
Oh, I apologize. We are going to be at a very upscale national steakhouse.
A steakhouse. Okay.
Yes, a steakhouse. And just because it withstands the test of time as far as an acclaimed venue to enjoy your fare. Right. And so I'm thinking you're pulling people from a distant time and a current time. I assumed that, but no one's ever asked me that. I've used this question a few times. I don't think I've hit double digits with it yet, but you are a thinker. Anastasia, I'm a fan. But yes, it's an acclaimed steakhouse.
So I think that I would like to sit down and talk to like a great tactician, right? Like an Alexander the Great, somebody, like a Sun Tzu, somebody that the art of war,
Yes.
Somebody that maybe thinks in a way that I don't. I've never had to fight. not really. I never had to fight in my life. I don't know anything about, battlefield strategy, but I know there's some philosophy behind it. And I really respect the idea of people who are willing to give everything, give their life for their cause.
Yes.
And I would love to talk to somebody who leads people like that. I don't know, just to pick brain, like I said, just to listen. So maybe one of those old generals. I would like to sit down and talk to my great grandmother.
Oh, okay. That's number 4. Wow, that 4 came up quick.
Yes, because I I'm way out, right? I've branched way out. But when I think about my reasons and what's near and dear to me, and why I do this and why I feel like I need to be heard and seen. My great grandmother had 9 children, and she died after she had the last one, which was my grandfather. And he wasn't raised with her. All I've got is a picture. And when I see this picture of this woman, I don't know what she was like. I don't know what were her likes and dislikes. I don't know what were her hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what was her life like? And would she have ever been able to envision something like me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. Wow. Where did this come from? So you have all these rights and opportunities and access. You've got your own money and you live in the air conditioning and, all these things. So I think I would love to sit down and talk to Penelope Prince.
Oh, wait a minute. That's her real name?
Yes.
Man, y'all are some other. Yo, is there a Clarence Jenkins in the house? Come on, you got a normal cousin or something?
Hey, this is normal over here. This is our
man,
normal.
Y'all can't be doing all this, man. We back to look at my face. Give me number 5, and I'm gonna keep this face through number 5 because I know the listeners done balled up their face unless they're watching too. But who's number 5 then?
Let's see. So I gave 2 men. I gave 2 women. Let's see. A 5th person. Okay, how about this? Because it's hard. It's not coming to me. So if we keep talking, it's gonna come to me.
Oh, okay.
If we keep talking, number 5 will pop out.
I like Double P Penelope Prince. What a name! Like if you would have just told me, hey man, would you be interested in finding out a little bit more of the city that lived in? Let's see, so its grandfather, 1930s or something is what maybe sounds like her era might have been. 1920s, named Penelope Prince. You ain't got to tell me nothing else. I would be like, yes, sign me up. Tell me about your girl. Right. That's an amazing name. I really like it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's one of those people. I hope that even during those times she could fight to not change her name when she married, because that's almost, she don't need to be Penelope Brown after that.
Right. No, I totally agree. And I ended up with Smith,
Oh yeah.
But that's how it goes.
Yes, it is. It's what a shame. I feel bad. Like every time I introduce her, if I was her man, I'd be like, yo, this is my lady Penelope Prince. Oh,
right, because it flows, it fits.
Yeah. I wouldn't even want them to know that I'm the reason that it came down. I would like them to think I'm more enlightened and aware. And I was like, no, girl, you got to keep that. Right. We good. Right. You wear my ring. We got that piece of paper. We good. Double P squared. Penelope the Great. Oh man, what a name.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It feels like a made up name, but again, if there was an autobiography, if there was a biography, it sounds like good reading.
Yes, absolutely.
Where did she live?
Gonzales, Texas. Well, the Prince family immigrated from Alabama to Texas in the 1850s, I believe, 1850s, 1860s. And I think she was one of 11 or 13 children. I think some of those princes moved to Houston. And I think it's but I don't know. I've never done the math or any of that. But there's a lot of princes. And there's a little town. It used to be a little town out there by Gonzales called Princeville. There was a Princeville Baptist church.
What?
There's a cemetery. Yeah, there's all this lore that exists that I haven't even touched. I haven't even touched that in my music and in my art. I would love to. And I think that that's probably what's coming next after I get this project out of the way. Yeah.
that the song, the vision's got to be the girl from Gonzales, the road back to Gonzales.
There you go. I love it.
Man, Penelope Prince, man, I'm already hooked. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
You said you got pictures of her?
I have one picture of her.
I bet she fine. I bet she fine. Hey, I don't even know. I bet she was a beautiful lady, and you can't tell me otherwise. I don't really care. She's probably 7 feet tall in my mind right now. 9 kids, by the way. Good Lord.
You know, there's one thing that stands out about this picture, and I grew up around it. I didn't even know who it was till I got to a certain age. It was just always on the wall in some of our houses, and there's a fierceness in her eyes.
Oh, see,
you know, the rest of the picture is unremarkable. She's a regular Black lady, dark skin, short hair, everything. But there's something in her eyes and the look that that just. It's like there's something else going on here. Penelope
the Great. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Yeah. Sun Kissed too. Come on, Penelope.
Yeah.
I want to know. I believe in 6 degrees of separation.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to tell me who in your life that you know is interesting to you. You find them interesting. It could be currently. I know this can change. Yeah. And what would you do to help me get them on this podcast? Someone that you're like, man, such an interesting. It could be someone you just met. We just had South by Southwest. You met somebody. You're like, man, I'm pretty interesting. But
okay, so
it also gives us a chance to learn more about you there.
Someone from any discipline.
Yeah.
There's a lady that I met last week that runs a dance company. And I believe that it's called Tapestry Austin. But when you talk about an artist being a jack of all trades, and kind of just having a lot of pots on the stove and having their hands into everything.
Yeah.
And not stopping and not slowing down and speaking off the dome and just being upfront and just you can those people that you can tell that everything that they do is filtered through their artistic lens. She's one of those people. So I'd be happy to make an introduction. But yeah, people like that I would just anybody that I feel like I would want to sit down and learn from, learn more about. Those are the people that I'm going to recommend.
I'm a dancer myself. I do all forms of Latin dance. I do teach it. Really? Salsa, merengue, bachata, cha-cha, cumbia, you name it. That's where I go. Again, that was one of those things that I thought the ladies would love. And let me tell you something, because I was working on my game. Like I didn't just flippantly go out there. You find me a lady that does not have on her bucket list to learn salsa or to go to the Caribbean and meet some Latin lover that can get on the dance floor and do their thing. Yeah. And that ain't the girl I want, because I guarantee you 9 out of 10 of them, that's on their bucket list. So I said, I got to get good. And I did. Yeah.
And has that helped? Has that helped with the ladies?
Let me tell you something. When you are a really good Latin dancer, ladies come up to you and ask you to dance when you're up at the spot.
Okay, I see.
I have ladies that will line up. It's also culturally in the salsa scene, but they'll line up. They'll cue themselves to be the next person. That happens. And that's when I knew I was good.
There's got to be something in just the way you move. You know what I mean? So even when you're not conscious of what you're doing or not doing steps, there's something in the way that you flow that attracts people.
What I've been told, because a lot of ladies will tell you, you're a good lead. So what you have to know, there are leaders and followers in Latin dance. Yes. And you have to make the follower look good.
Okay.
Dip her. A lot of ladies want to be dipped.
Yes.
Dip her, but not a lot of guys are smooth enough or good enough to do it. Let her dip.
Do I
Bring
trust
her up.
you enough to dip me without dropping me?
Oh, well, they need to work out. I told you I used to do
That's
that.
where the bodybuilding comes in.
Because of shoot. Yeah. So I'm strong enough. But they can tell from your frame. And that's what they should be doing. I tell them, I dance with all types. I dance with, because I'm not a dance snob. I dance with rookies because I was a rookie one day.
Right.
I dance with really good dancers. I dance with old ladies. One of the best dances I ever had. I used to call it the little old lady with red shoes back in San Diego. And she would come in whatever shoes, but she would put on some red dancing shoes. And that was Anastasia. That's like driving a Cadillac.
Really?
I didn't even have to work with her. It was just, I could dance with one finger with her, make her do turns, give her a dip.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it was great. That's what I do. So you setting me up with a dancer?
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be great. I'm if you can't tell, I'd be very excited about that.
I got you.
That's great. Anastasia, how could we all keep up with you? Unfortunately, we're at the end of our time here. Yeah. I'm so glad this went fast. Hopefully, I can leave some meat on the bone, and I could make it into your schedule at a later date. We can come back and we can wrap some more. But
definitely,
if they would like to follow you, our listeners, those that are watching, how could they stay up?
The best way is Instagram.
Okay.
And my Instagram handle is Anastasia_Hera_. And yeah, definitely give me a follow and reach out and book me and get a feature or whatever. Or let's just, hit me up and let's talk about art because I can talk about that all day long. Okay. It just came to me. I am so sorry.
The fifth person. The fifth person?
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to talk to Michelangelo.
Yeah.
And let me tell you why. Now, I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago. I got a lyric in a song that says, if you want a masterpiece, make everything sistine. Make everything sistine, right? And, it makes sense on a very surface level if you think of the beauty of the Sistine Chapel and, the work and the art. But Michelangelo was not even a painter. The man was a sculptor. And he was commissioned to do this work. And he said, maybe you should pick some. He recommended his rival and said, well, maybe you should get him to do it. And they said, no, we want you. And then he went out and got other more experienced painters than himself to help him kind of put together this vision and work on it. And no one wanted to do it. Everybody was busy or doing their own thing or wasn't into it. And so he said, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to do this on my own because I tried. I tried not to do it. I tried to get help to do it. But here I am. And that work has lasted obviously throughout the centuries. And so that level of dedication to the art, to throwing yourself into a whole new medium that you're not familiar with and still producing, one of the masterpieces of our age.
Yes.
That's the artist. And that's what we all hope to accomplish. And that's the fifth person that's coming to eat steak with us. Me and Beyonce and Frederick Douglass and Penelope Prince.
Yeah.
We're all gonna sit down together.
Man, that's a great group. Such a multifaceted. Literally, I believe the phrase Renaissance man was based for Michelangelo.
Da Vinci. It might have
been. Wait a minute.
We got to do our homework.
I don't want to take that from Da Vinci, but Michelangelo is a phenomenal choice.
Yes.
I feel like we could go down a path. Okay. Well, the very next time I get an opportunity, that's a threat, Anastasia Hera.
Okay.
That's a threat that unfortunately you're going to get another request from me. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, I enjoyed myself as well. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming. I think our listeners are going to love it. Please comment. Let us know just how bad I'm going to have to bug Anastasia because you guys have loved this so much. And then maybe when I show her the loads of comments of people begging for her to come back, she'll say, fine, I'll fit you in. I'll get you in there.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, Anastasia and the Men Pin and the Blue Healer.
Yes.
I hope that you guys have a great rest of the evening.
We're going to have fun. All right. Nice talking to you, Donato. Have a good one.
Thanks a lot. You too.
Bye.